Trigger warning. Ghosts, ghouls, and gruesome stuff ahead. It's weird, it's dark, it's your kind of vibe.
Welcome to Haunted and Homicidal, the podcast where true crime meets the paranormal. I'm Lauren.
And I'm Courtney. Every week we uncover the terrifying, the twisted, and the totally unexplainable. Lock your doors and grab your sage.
Because things are about to get haunted and homicidal. We're gonna eat some Mexican for lunch. Yeah.
Nachos.
See, like, my husband doesn't ever tell me no with anything.
No.
I'm hungry. Go get Mexican food. He was like,
Yeah,
bet.
like how I'm like, go feed yourself. We don't have food.
We do have food.
It requires him to cook.
Yeah, he does not cook.
Has he used any of his like waffle? Any
Yeah.
of his stuff?
Oh, yeah. And I bought him a microwave, and he was supposed to get it on Thanksgiving when he came home, but he didn't get to come home. And he's real excited about that. He had like some hot dogs left.
Mm-hmm.
He was gonna bring them home for Mischa, but he got so excited about coming home that he left them in the driver's seat.
His car's but
I told him, I said that truck is going to smell so bad, but he said they're like in a Ziploc bag, so it might not be bad.
He's gonna have moldy hot dogs on his
I told him, I'm like, he did not realize it until so it's like a 30-minute drive from the house to where I have to pick him up.
Yeah.
We were like 10 minutes away from home when he realized that. He's like, we are not going back. I said, well, good luck. Because that's going to smell like nasty hot dogs.
See, it's a good thing I parked on the street then.
But he's got Febreze. He's got like Fabuloso.
He's gonna have to use it.
He's going to have to. Yeah. So like we had to stop by Walmart or whatever on Thursday to get Mischa something because he was bringing the hot dogs home for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Mexican, yum. Nachos and tamales.
Nachos.
And white queso. I knew if I said Mexican, he'd be like, fuck yeah. Normally, because he don't want to go anywhere.
Yeah.
If I said Mexican, he was like, hell
Because that drive-through one.
Well, not just that, but like even if like Burger King or McDonald's, he was hungry yesterday, I think. And I'm like, we can go to Burger King or McDonald's or Wendy's or somewhere. And he just like kept turning his nose up. I'm like, what the fuck do you want? And he like clapped his hands and he's like, you promised me steak. And I was like, shit, I did. And by this time we had already gone to Lee's Supermarket. We'd already gone to Walmart. We had already gone to Five Below. We'd already gone to Rouse's. No, we didn't go to Rouse's. We were already home. My bra was off. I was getting situated because I had my brother coming. I had to clean the house. My brother and the baby and his wife were coming. And so I was like, fuck. So we ended up going to Rouse's, and I got like 2 really thick steaks for me and him, and then I got like 2 other big steaks for the kids, all 4 of them, and we just cut them in half and cooked up. Benjamin cooked his own. He did not want to give the hour to marinate them so it would be more flavorful and whatever. So he cooked his own, damn near burn it, and he's like, well, that's how I like it. And then he's like, how do you get yours pink in the middle? I'm like, you don't cook it for 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Like you marinate it, and like they were, half-inch steaks maybe, but mine and his were like 2-inch. But they were like half-inch steaks. So I'm like,
you don't cook it for that long.
I'm like, you cook it on high to sear the juices in, and then you finish it off like on medium low or low, like 2 minutes per side because they were so thin to get it to the red. And he's like, oh, I did it opposite. He's like, I started it out on low and then went on high. I'm like, that's why it's tough. Yeah, that's why it's not red.
That's why you fucked up.
So I normally do it medium rare, more rare. I like it more like red than pink and still bloody. That's just how I, as a carnivore, like my steak. If it's well done, I call it why bother. So I'm cooking everybody's steak, and Riley had he wasn't feeling good. So he decided he wanted like the smallest one. It was pretty thin. So I threw it on there for like 2 minutes on each side. And when I put it on the baking sheet, I'm like, your steak's ready, come get it. And he was like, is that blood? I'm like, it's a medium rare steak. So I'm like, I always cook it. And he's like, I don't want blood, Mom. I was like, okay, I'll throw it back on the skillet.
Yeah.
And so I cooked London and Johnny's and put it on the cookie sheet and threw his back on there. And I'm like, all right, son, all the blood is gone. I said, you're going to have a hard time eating that. And he just sat there like in his hands, just Not even a fork and knife. He was just cavemanning that shit.
All right, Riley.
Yeah, but like while I was cutting my steak and Wayne's steak, Benjamin's like, how do you get like that perfect rare, medium rare?
Let your mom cook it, not try to do it
I was
yourself.
like, well, you know, if you would have let me cook it like I intended to. And then my brother is like grabbing the radish kimchi and the regular kimchi, and he's cutting pieces of meat off of my steak, and I'm just looking at it. I'm like, this is my lunch. Y'all just had Chinese food for lunch, because she told me, she's like, don't freak out if there's fried rice in the baby's hair. Because she's like, she wouldn't let me put her down long enough for me to be able to eat, so I was holding her and eating. I'm like, there's going to be so many crumbs and drinks that you're going to spill on that baby's head. I've been there. I know. Because sometimes, like, you're fucking starving, but the baby does not want to be put down, and, you know, you don't want her to scream and cry. I'm like, y'all just ate. Why are you over here eating my food? So I eventually put it up so he'd stop eating it.
He's a fat ass. Bitch.
Yeah, but I had to go get more of the radish kimchi this morning because I needed it, and it is so good. He's going to get me that box to start making my own. And we found the bowl that I need at Saigon Market. Like one of those really big ones. It's like $30. They're expensive, but you need the really big one because before everything like wilts down with the water and the salt, it fills up the whole bowl. But once it wilts down, it's like enough to put in like a measuring cup. So I'm going to start making the daikon radish. Oh, I found those too at Saigon Market. I found the daikon radish so I can make my own radish kimchi and the napa cabbage kimchi. So there's this lady on Facebook that I watch all the time, and she makes a whole bunch of different stuff. She's the reason I wanted the dark soy sauce. Oh, no.
What?
I was supposed to be making my sushi eggs right now. I forgot because I'm also supposed to be making deviled eggs for dinner. I can still make those.
It'll take too long.
Well, I'll have my sushi eggs for tomorrow, I guess. No, but you have to soak them for like 6 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so they're not going to be ready until tomorrow anyway. But yeah, so, well, there's our chaotic intro as we normally typically have. We will go ahead and get into these stories. It's not going to be, might not be quite as long as Burritos, but Courtney has Eastern State Penn, and there's so much information about that. Mine is like tiny. Mine's little boo-boo.
Yeah, mine's a little long.
So good luck. Love you guys, and goodbye.
So I have Eastern State Penitentiary.
Oh, penitentiary.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going with that.
And ChatGPT also knows that you can't speak.
Nope.
It lets me know that you can't speak. It's like, Courtney struggled again today. And I'm like, how did you know?
I was like, this bitch.
It's not wrong.
Shut up.
Hold peace.
Oh, look who it is. How does he know? What?
Oh, no.
Did you hang up on him?
No, I didn't. Hello?
NACHO Supreme.
Yeah, that's fine. 1 chicken, 1 beef.
Okay, all right, bye.
All right, bye. I don't know why he was yelling like he didn't text me about it. NACHO Supreme!
Did you not text him back fast enough?
He didn't text me about it.
Oh.
We had to get excited about nachos. My husband was very irritated about nachos.
So it remains one of the most talked about historic sites in the state of Pennsylvania, but it's not because of positive reform or improving the lives of prisoners. The prison may have started out with good intentions. The many years of riots, inhuman torture, and murder on the premises have cast a dark shadow over this 19th century prison that remains there today.
And I think a lot of prisons, quote unquote, start with good intentions. Intentions of reform, intentions of whatever, but these prison systems are not set up to reform anybody, because if they were, you wouldn't have second, third, fourth time offenders going back, you know, and they tell you, here's your probation officer, peace out, Girl Scout. You've got to give them an address of where you're going to be living, meet with your probation officer, but they don't give you any kind of, like, in no life skills training. You know, I watched Orange is the New Black, and I know that's probably not, like, super indicative of how the prison system is, but as far as like the GED classes or the programs that are designed to help them learn or help them fight their own cases, I think they're probably minimal.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Mischa, lay down, baby. So curious visitors travel from miles away to visit the historic location known for being a hub of otherworldly activity. She's getting a booty scratch.
I see her.
There is no doubt the Eastern State Penitentiary was once filled with great sadness, loneliness, and despair, being home to more than 85,000 prisoners while it was operational. Oh,
I'm gonna look.
I don't know. And those dark, despairing emotions can cause dark entities to cling to places where they don't belong.
Come here, Mish. This will be a good one. This is very crispy.
Mischa
You want a bite?
ASMR.
It says they can have plain unsalted nori in small amounts because it offers a very good nutritional value.
Oh, nice. She might need that from yesterday.
You ready? Oh, it's stuck to her face. She's having trouble eating it.
Nori's hard to eat anyway.
Oh, she had to like stomp on it with her foot and get it unstuck from her gums. Ready? Take a little bite. Uh-oh.
You dropped it.
Wait.
You dropped
Oh,
it.
she got it. You want another one? You want more? She's like, fuck yeah.
She's
dude.
like, yeah.
See, she comes like right to the thing now. She's not scared of it anymore.
She's like, how many times you be making me? Might as well.
Ready?
She's gonna have it all in her teeth. Now you're gonna have to watch when you make your own stuff before she tries to eat it.
She hears somebody.
Good job, Mish.
Good job. Alright, you can go lay down now. And that was your ASMR from Mish, because I know we haven't done it in a while, but that was a good one.
That was a good one.
Now it smells like nori in here.
It's about to smell like
the
nachos.
The cats love it too.
Oh, really?
The crab bites, the imitation crab, like get like the long sticks. They call it like leg meat crab bites.
Yeah.
So we get those for her. The kittens fucking love it.
So it opened in 1829 as a prison intended to create social change and reform.
Yeah.
The building was designed and constructed by British architect John Haviland, and it was the most expensive structure built in the country at that time. And thanks to its elaborate floor plan and cell block design, it was considered an architectural wonder and visited by notable individuals such as Alexis de Tocqueville and Charles Dickens.
Okay.
Following his visit to the prison in 1842,
I know who Charles Dickens is. I don't know who the other guy
I don't either. Charles Dickens wrote about the horrifying system, saying, and I quote, "The system there is rigid, strict, and hopeless, solitary confinement, tampering with the mysteries of the brain to be immeasurably worse than any torture of the body." Ooh.
So they were experimenting on these people mentally.
Yeah, because they
were torturing them, like psychological torture, it sounds like.
Yeah, because when they started, they did solitary confinement. So like they had them like in their room by themselves.
And that's psychological torture right there.
They can't talk to each other.
Yeah, and they can't see anybody.
Yeah.
It's like 23 hours in the hole, right? They only get like 1 hour out of solitary, I think.
Mm-mm.
Oh, not even then? 'Cause normally like with solitary, you're like 23 hours in. You get 1 hour of like yard time or whatever.
They didn't do that for them. I think it didn't say like how many.
Jesus. Wow. Yeah, I couldn't do that.
So during the 18th century in Pennsylvania, there was a lot of debate over how the prisons handled punishment for their inmates.
This is in Pennsylvania.
Yes.
Guess where I'm moving to? Oh, I can go visit it. Oh, that's more than Amish people. I get to go to prison. I'm excited now.
Go to the very haunted place. Okay.
Huh?
I said if you want to go to the very haunted prison, yes.
Yeah, I do. That's like, I don't want to go to like a not haunted prison because then I would be like in an orange jumpsuit, like as an inmate. I don't want that kind of prison. I want the prison where I could be like, I can leave whenever I want to.
So in 1790, the Pennsylvania Prison Society, or PPS, was founded in response to the violent and brutal system of corporal punishment used throughout the country. The members of PPS recommended new measures for social reform, such as prison anonymity, and solitary confinement. It was designed to keep prisoners separated from one another as part of the new system. They faced strict rules and regulations, forced to reflect on their mistakes by spending their days and nights in silence.
Oh, God. I couldn't imagine.
Benjamin Rush, who was a member of the PPS, based on the new prison reform policies on the ideas of John Howard, an English philanthropist. Howard advocated for policies such as solitary confinement and productive labor as forms of criminal punishment. He believed that all prisoners should be in separate cells in a place of solitude and silence, allowing them to reflect on their crimes in the hope of leading to repentance.
Yeah, that's not what happened.
Nope.
That made these inmates go fucking crazy, and they became violent, and they started killing each other.
Or they killed themselves.
Or themselves, yeah. Like, this was not... They have, in past years, have kind of done the research, scientific research of how damaging solitary is to people. They still do it, though, but...
He instructed that the separate rooms should have their own small courtyard that would help eliminate the ability for prisoners to come together and discuss plans to escape.
Okay, because that's the biggest worry about prisoners in jail.
This new practice was criticized by many in the U.S. for its reliance on extreme isolation. However, it was also adopted by more than 300 prisons throughout the world.
Exactly.
This new system of incarceration was commonly referred to as the Pennsylvania system. Unfortunately, the practice did not remain in accordance with its original progressive and humane values.
Of course not. Why would it? It's a prison.
So later, the prison incorporated punishment that was more in line with the system the PPS had tried so hard to move away from. There are many reasons why so many dark entities are drawn to this historic prison.
Okay.
Spirits are more likely to cling to places where tragic death and torture once occurred.
Yeah.
There was no shortage of torture while the prison was operational. The harsh realities faced by so many of the prisoners would be enough to cause any spirit to seek vengeance in the afterlife.
Yeah.
Facing as many as 23 hours a day in isolation was believed to have driven the prisoners mad.
Yeah, like I said, 23 and 1 out, yeah.
Putting them in a worse mental state than they were in before they arrived.
What? Okay. Just because they're criminals, they're still fucking human. You would have to think if you were in solitary for 23 hours a day, what it would do to the mind. Criminal or not, it would have the same effect. So if you know a non-criminal person would go fucking crazy being in solitary for 23 hours a day, why would you not think that that would happen to a prisoner also?
Exactly.
Like, all of this shit, I have a problem with the judicial system. Police, investigators, prisoners. I just have a problem.
They were even deprived of talking to the guards, causing many to end up deliriously talking to themselves.
Exactly.
And facing harsh punishments as a result.
Wait a minute. They're being punished in solitary to begin with. They're being punished for not being allowed to see or speak to anybody. They start talking to themselves, and then they get punished for that?
Well, it's more when they're punished when they try to talk to each other.
Oh, for each other. Okay, I was like, wait, they're getting punished for, like, befriending themselves? I'm confused.
Okay.
No, okay. Not okay. None of this is okay.
So they had different forms of torture guards used to punish the prisoners. So they had the water bath.
You know how I feel about those.
Which the guards would throw ice cold water on prisoners as they sat in a chair before chaining them to an exterior wall of the prison during winter.
Yeah.
They would remain there until all the moisture on their skin turned to ice.
Yep.
So a lot of them would be dead.
Yeah.
The mad chair. So the prisoners would be tightly strapped to a restraining chair for hours or even days, resulting in painful swelling in their limbs that had turned blue or black from the lack of circulation.
Oh my God.
In a similar form of torture, it was also very common for prisoners to be placed in a straitjacket until they started losing circulation throughout their bodies.
Dude.
And some appendages had to be cut off.
This made me sick.
The hole.
The hole.
Also known as Klondike. This area, that's what they call
what
it.
Would you do
for a Klondike bar? This area deep below cell block 14 had a 6-foot ceiling and 4 small isolated cells. These cell blocks were made from reinforced concrete instead of stone. They were very square, windowless, and without any light or plumbing. This form of isolation was not intended to encourage redemption, but strictly to serve as punishment. The most vicious criminals at the prison were placed in the hole for days or even months at a time for bad behavior.
with no plumbing. So they, just shit and pissed in a fucking corner in a bucket?
Uh-huh.
Are you serious?
That's what they would get. Most likely they give him a bucket.
What the fuck? Bruh.
Mm-hmm. And then you had the iron gag.
I already don't like how that sounds.
The most common and most harrowing form of punishment. The prisoner would have their hands crossed behind their neck. I meant behind their back.
Oh, I was about to say behind the fucking neck.
Back. I wrote neck.
Okay.
Behind their back. The iron gag device would be placed on their tongue with chains connecting it to their hands.
No.
Any movement the prisoner would make using their
Went
hands
further in their mouth.
would pull and tear at their tongue.
Oh my God.
Resulting in excruciating pain.
Oh, that makes me so sick. What? Why? What? How? What? Why? Who the fuck comes up with this shit? Who?
The people.
These are like legal serial killers. Like paid serial killers.
Matthias McCumsey got caught trying to talk to his neighbor. They bound and shackled his hands behind his back, put the iron gag over his tongue, and the gag was attached by chains to the shackles on his wrists. They left him. An hour later, he was found dead in his cell. It ripped off his tongue and he bled to death.
Oh my God. Like, oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like starting to shake. I'm very angry right now.
They did have some notable inmates at Eastern State Penitentiary. Penitentiary.
There you go. Say it louder.
So they had Al Capone.
Yes, they did.
Most famous mob boss from Chicago. Alfonso Scarface Capone spent 8 months between 1929 and 1930. He was arrested for carrying a concealed and deadly weapon.
Yep. Tax evasion.
Uh-huh.
All that good stuff.
This would be his first prison sentence and one that continued to haunt him for years after he was released. His time spent was seen as luxurious compared to how other prisoners were treated, with a cell on Park Avenue block that included fine furniture and a cabinet radio. Like, he had furniture, like, he made, like, a living room. Like, he had a nice bed. He had a piano. Like, he had
Have you seen Orange is the New Black?
No.
Okay, so there is a, like, TV personality, a lady that cooks, kind of like a Martha Stewart kind of person. Their name is Judy. When she got sent to prison for tax evasion or whatever it was, she had a blender, she had a telephone, she had a TV, she had all these luxury items. Yeah, so that's kind of how they did people back in the day. I think our Mexican is here.
Woohoo! And it has been said that Capone experienced some of the prison's early ghostly activity during his stay.
Our Mexican is here. We have Mischa ASMR with seaweed.
She asked me what questions I didn't want to answer, so I just got everything.
Oh. Uh-oh. That sounds ominous.
I just got everything.
She said, you want chips with the cheese? I was like, you know what? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the chips and the queso comes with chips. So I have extra chips, I guess. I'll eat those.
Yeah, we always get extra chips.
Queso. What'd you say? It cost all the money?
Misha's like, food.
My tamales. You got what you normally get?
Chicken?
Ha ha ha.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you, sir.
That's like $10 for nachos, but they fucking pack it full. Beep.
Yes.
I will for my tamales. Okay.
Shinka.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Y'all need these?
No, baby, I don't.
I'm good.
Delivery service.
Thank you, sir.
Have a good day. We're going to be in here for like an hour.
Have a good hour.
You taking her? Are the dogs out? Because Gianni's outside. Oh, okay. Okay, bye. That part will be in the episode. Okay.
So, Capone.
Oh. I'm going to start calling him that now.
Capone was
Kapapa.
Capone was a man who was feared by many, so it had to take something dark and sinister to scare him.
Yes, that's like the craziest thing. He was like the fucking mob boss, and him spending time in Eastern State Penn, he was like, never the fuck again. Hold on, do you want a chip?
And what could be worse than being haunted by the ghost of someone who'd been brutally murdered?
Come here. Come here.
Conte. She's making a mess. There's a chip by my foot.
Yeah, it like fell off. Right here, goofball. Right here. Ow, finger.
Finger.
Right there. There you go. Sorry, we had an ASMR break, and also Courtney's eating a nacho break. But ding. What are you looking for?
They had beans for a second. I was like, no.
Is it beans? I don't think the beans come on the nachos, do they? Okay, I was like, is that beans? Because that does look like beans. I'm obsessed with their fucking tamales.
In those.
All I know is I like Mexican food and Asian food, and I don't really care for American food.
Same.
What are you doing, baby? You're not going out there. Daddy's not going to give you none of his stuff.
Okay. So, the St. Valentine's Day Massacre is one of the most well-known crime stories Capone is linked to.
Mm-hmm.
When several men employed by gangster George Bugs Moran were working at Moran's bootlegging headquarters, authorities soon arrived on the scene. Moran's men feared they were about to be arrested, but instead, 7 of them were shot and killed.
Mm-hmm.
It turned out the police were gangsters in disguise.
Yes, they were.
Capone was never convicted of the murders, but most people who are familiar with the story believed he ordered Moran's men to be killed since they were arch rivals.
Yep.
One of the men killed that day was Jimmy Clark. He was a low-ranking mobster and the brother-in-law of Moran. And during Capone's stay at Eastern State, it's believed he was haunted by Jimmy's ghost.
Yep. Oh, I love this story. I do.
Capone was convinced that someone was sharing his one-bed cell with him. He would shout out in the middle of the night, begging Jimmy to leave him alone.
Yep.
Other prisoners mentioned hearing him screaming and even having quiet conversations with someone.
Yep.
Capone hoped that once he was released, he would be free from the haunting of Jimmy Clark.
Free.
But wherever Capone was, Jimmy would soon follow.
Yup.
Eventually, Capone requested help from a psychic to get Jimmy's spirit to leave for good. It didn't work. His fear of the ghost became such an issue that his bodyguards would rush into his room at night, convinced he was under attack, only to find out that he was all alone in his room, terrified.
And can you imagine, like, you're in prison and you still fucking get bodyguards?
Mm-hmm.
Not prison guards. Bodyguards.
No, I think it was when he got out.
Oh, okay. Well, either way, but, like, yeah, you fucked up.
Uh-huh.
And you've got a sticky ghost.
So he was later sent to Alcatraz for tax evasion.
Yeah.
And the ghost of Jimmy accompanied him on that sentence as well. Don't ask what that was.
It was the struggle bus.
At this point in his life, he contracted syphilis. And during his time at Alcatraz, the disease spread to his brain.
Who was he having sex with in jail to get syphilis? Was he getting conjugal visits, or was this like another prisoner?
Either that or before he got in jail, he contracted it. It just says at this point in his life, so I think like
in jail, at this point in his life, while he was in jail, he contracted syphilis, is what I heard from it. So
I think he had it before.
Did he have a booty buddy?
Probably.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. I feel like he'd be the booty. Like he'd have a booty buddy.
I don't know.
Well,
they would still be booty buddies.
Yeah. Okay. During his time, the disease spread to his brain, causing him to lose his mind, or so everyone says.
Syphilis will do that too, yeah.
His behavior became so bizarre, screaming constantly at the ghost of Jimmy, that he was released from the prison on good behavior.
Could you imagine just like Al Capone walking around, leave me alone, Jimmy! And Jimmy, like anybody in their name Jimmy is like, I'm not fucking with you, Al.
Al Capone died at his estate in Palm Island in 1947. There are many who say that the spirit of Jimmy Clark was by his side even then, ensuring that vengeance for his murder was carried out to Capone's last breath.
Good.
All
And
right.
in the afterlife.
And now we have Slick Willie Sutton.
Slick Willie.
Slick Willie,
Slicker Willie.
also known as the actor, was a notorious bank robber who had a peculiar reputation for a criminal as being a gentleman.
What?
People who were present at his robberies.
Hold on.
What?
His peculiar characteristic was that he was a gentleman?
Yes. I will explain.
Okay, because what?
I was about to read that part when you interrupted me.
I was just making sure I heard you right. I'm like,
Yes.
the peculiar characteristic was that he was a nice guy.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So people who were present at his robberies have even stated that he was a very polite man. He was a very polite robber. Give me your money, please.
Yeah, can I please have your money? Please and thank you.
But in reality, he was a merciless criminal who only cared about one thing, getting his hands on as much money as possible.
Which would be what robberies are about. Yeah, okay.
He was apprehended in February of 1934 and was sentenced to serve 25 to 50 years at Eastern State for the machine gun robbery held at the Corn Exchange Bank and Trust Company in Philadelphia.
Okay.
On April 3rd, 1945, Sutton and 11 other convicts escaped using a tunnel.
Jeez, that's a lot of people on.
Oh, they were captured like right after.
I know, but that's a lot of people who like got loose.
He was captured the same day by the police. This was his 5th escaped attempt at the prison. Oh, excuse me. And then we have Victor Babe Andrioli.
Oh.
He was convicted of killing a Pennsylvania state police officer in 1937. He was arrested and given a life sentence for first-degree murder.
Murder.
Following several robberies in 1937, Victor and his companion Horace Bowers stole a car and drove to the Bear Creek Township in the Wilkes-Barre area of Pennsylvania. Okay. State Trooper Private John J. Broski was in town.
These are some fucking names, man.
Was in town investigating a murder and was at the Boulevard Inn talking to a witness when Androli and Bowers arrived.
Okay.
Bowers was armed with a shotgun while Androli had a nickel-plated pistol.
Okay.
They ordered the people at the bar to raise their arms as they entered the room. As Broski did, he tried to get a better look at the two gunmen who were behind him. Bowers shot the state trooper with his 16-gauge shotgun from a close distance.
Damn.
The bullets penetrated his back and kidneys, wounding him. Penetration. Bowers went on to hold another patron at gunpoint and steal from the wallet while Androli robbed the cash register. They fled the scene, and Broski was taken to the nearby emergency room where he died the following day.
Aww.
And then they got arrested. So then Androli was placed in solitary confinement for bad behavior.
Well, yeah, I mean, like while he was in prison. Okay.
He escaped from the prison in October of 1943 by hiding in a delivery truck. What? Several weeks later. What?
How did he get into a delivery truck if he stayed in solitary? Like the 1 hour a day that he was allowed out, he managed to elude the police and get into a delivery truck?
Either that or this is after they
took him out?
Or this is after they ended the solitary confinement.
Yeah, like after they took him out of solitary. Okay, I was going to say like...
Because they did end like the solitary and added like more... like room, like more
other yeah. So yeah, because I was like, you had one job for 1 hour a day. You watched this fucking prisoner, and that's when he got loose.
Yeah, no, I think I have it in here somewhere. They end the solitary confinement.
Stopped doing solitary, yeah.
Because I think it was after Charles Dickens visited.
Too little, too late, but yeah.
Yeah, so I think this is after.
Hello,
Mischa.
What did she do?
Mischa,
she's chewing her butt.
Quit eating your ass. Several weeks later, he was caught in Chester, Pennsylvania, where he was shot to death in a crowded diner, stating that he would never be taken alive.
You'll never take me alive, copper. I wonder if that's where that's from.
You never take me alive, copper.
Yeah, I wonder if that's where that's from.
Probably.
Huh. I thought it was Al Capone who said it, but I guess not.
And then you have Frida Frost.
A female?
Uh-huh. So between the years of 1831 and 1923, more than 900 women served their time in Eastern State. This was less than 3% of the estimated population of the prison at the time. Still, women made a substantial impact on the institution. One of them was Frida Frost. Frost was convicted of murdering her husband by poisoning him and was serving a 20-year sentence at the prison.
That is just like... That's just the woman thing. It's always poison. Always.
According to the story, she killed her husband a week after marrying him to collect his money and life insurance money.
goddamn nanny dolls.
She was 40 years old at the time of her arrest. Frida was the last female prisoner at the penitentiary.
There you go.
Oh my God.
I'm like, why do you keep putting an extra R in there?
I don't know. She was transferred to the Muncie Industrial Home for Women in 1923 when officials began segregating the prison. Her departure from Eastern State was the end of an era.
Mm-hmm.
So, the ghostly encounters.
Ghosts. Guts.
Guts. Footage.
Techno.
Okay, there are so many haunting tales from those who visit the location today about seeing apparitions or hearing strange voices. It's been commonly reported over the years that you can see a figure standing in one of the old guard towers. However, there is no physical way to get to the top because the brick stairs crumbled away years ago.
Okay. So, an apparition, not an actual person?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Some believe it's the spirit of a former guard who feels it's still his responsibility to stand watch over the prison walls.
Okay.
There is one particular spirit who has been seen lurking through the older sections of the prison by many visitors. It's the shadow of a man who seems to be looking for a way out. People have heard whispering, giggling, and even weeping.
Oh.
The apparition of a mysterious woman is spotted so often that employees have named her the Soap Lady.
What?
She sits in the last cell on the second floor wearing white. Don't ask me why they call her Soap Lady. They just call her Soap Lady.
Yeah, it was like, is she seen like washing her hands a lot in the bathroom? Or
they just call her
like,
the Soap Lady because I guess she's wearing white.
is she like bending over the sink and smelling the soap? Or like, what is happening? Maybe because she's in white. Soap is white.
Yeah, because she just sits in the last cell.
I'd call her the white lady, but whatever.
So, some of those cell blocks are very, very haunted.
Okay. Yeah,
So-
I've seen like these fucking shows on TV. Scary shit.
Cell block 12. There have been multiple reports from people hearing echoing voices, strange crackling in the darkness, and seeing the apparition of shadowy figures. Others have claimed to hear disembodied voices, creepy whispers, and an overwhelming feeling of dread. It's a popular spot for curious investigators to visit while touring. Some videos captured have shown the apparition of a man walking through the cell block.
Mm-hmm.
And you have cell block 4.
Didn't ever go to cell block 1. Talking to you, Drake.
Those who visit have claimed to see chilling visions of ghostly faces that appear to be deeply tormented. Some have said these faces beckon them over to get a closer look.
No, I see you. Come here. No.
Along with the images, people have also reported hearing strange noises, as well as feeling a sense of unease and being unwelcome there.
Why are you staring at me? You want a chip?
One of the most frequently shared tales about his haunted cell block and this encounter experienced by locksmith Gary Johnson.
Really? How did you even do that? Here.
Johnson was hired to renovate part of the cell block and replace all the locks. So while removing one of the locks, he suddenly felt overpowered by an unseen force. He could feel the...
That just came out of her mouth.
I told you she's gonna have the seaweed stuck in her teeth. I told you it was gonna be stuck in her teeth.
Ew, gross.
He could feel the presence of someone watching him. However, when he looked up and down the cell block, there was no one there.
I don't like that. I mean, like, I want to go to the prison, but like knowing that there were like so many violent offenders there, like it kind of scares me a little bit.
He stated that he could feel the negative energy pouring out of the cell as he saw distorted faces and agonizing pain lining up on the walls. It's also been said that they say a shadowy figure leapt out at him from across the cell block.
Oh no.
Cell block.
Do not drag me up the wall, please.
Cell block 6. If you enter, you will see shadowy figures dart along the walls or slide quickly across them. The spirits appear as haunting black silhouettes. However, they're not confined to that area and have been seen making their way along the walls. Throughout all the most haunted cell blocks, visitors have felt a great darkness they can't explain. People have mentioned hearing strange voices, feeling cold spots in certain areas, and even the feeling of being touched or scratched by a dark entity.
Keep your hands to yourself. No means no. Consent is the thing.
So it closed its doors in 1971. Many of the prisoners and the guards who were there at the time were transferred to Greater Ford Prison, located 30 miles north of Philadelphia. As the last of the employees left the prison, no one was expecting the building to be used again. The property was abandoned for the next 20 years.
Oh, wow.
As historians, city planners, and real estate developers started looking into what could be done with the property in the 1980s, they revisited the prison only to find it had become overrun with vines growing on both the outside and inside. There was a colony of feral cats inside, and an eerie feeling that time had come to a standstill within the walls of the former prison. The property was soon purchased by a non-profit organization that renovated the building and reopened it as a museum and tourist attraction in 1994.
Oh, so not that long ago. Mm-mm. I mean, 31 years, but still mostly recent. Yeah.
Today it has been designated as a National Historic Landmark. The building is open to the public for daytime tours every day except for Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and New Year's Day.
Okay.
And then my favorite, Ghost Adventures.
My husband calls them bagel bites now.
Y'all can shut the fuck up.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
So this is one of their earlier seasons. So this is season 2, episode 6.
Okay.
So the prison's 180 years old at this time when they did the research.
Yeah.
So they interviewed Sean Kelly, who was the Eastern State Program Director. They think about 75,000 inmates came through. Maximum security prison, people serving life for murder, rape, the tough guys.
Wait, repeat that for me?
It was a maximum security prison.
Yeah.
People serving life for murder, rapes.
Okay.
So it was like the tough guys. They had the tough guys there.
That's not what I heard. I heard it's something completely different. I heard the rape part and I was like, oh, wait a second. But that's not that's not what I had heard.
Okay. So it was the Quakers who originally came up with the solitary confinement idea. They figured the isolation would cause prisoners to find God. So how they designed it, so they had a metal door, so it was like the cell. And then you have a metal door that swung closed.
Okay.
That kept him locked.
Right.
And then you have a wooden door that would be slid closed so they wouldn't talk to each other across the hall.
See, like, here's my thing.
Be a gate door and then a barn door, pretty much.
Here's my thing. Why is Jesus or God always lost in a prison and only the prisoners can find him? Like, why? Is this like an Easter egg hunt? Like, what is Jesus in your prison today? You gotta find him. Yeah. Like, yeah. I thought he was omnipotent and omnipresent. So, like, why is he in just the jails where people find him? Is he a criminal? Is Jesus a criminal?
That's what they believe. They believe that because you're in prison, it's easier, I guess.
I believe that's what they believe, but their belief system is severely flawed. I have questions. Yeah. And people, when I ask the questions, they look at me because they're like, fuck. Yeah. Answer it for me, please. Please answer that.
So whenever they would be moved from their cells, to keep the prisoners to keep prisoners from speaking with each other, full mask would be placed over their heads whenever they were moved from their cells.
I've seen that. That is insane. It was like metal masks too that kept their lips closed, like they couldn't speak or anything. It's crazy.
So then they interviewed Catherine Driver, who was an eyewitness, on to some paranormal shit.
I was about to say an eyewitness to the way the prison functioned. How the fuck old is this lady?
No, to some prison. So when they were in cell block 4, as they were walking through, she felt overwhelmingly sad and actually started crying.
Oh.
A few other people in the group started crying as well. And as they were walking, they were talking about food because they were hungry. And then they heard this, and next thing you knew, a giant cold chill went whizzing past them.
So they heard, and then they got cold from like a breeze. So that ghost was like, gotta go.
Yeah. And then the showers in cell block 12.
Cell block
1. A piece of soap fell onto the floor. She made a joke. Oh, don't drop the soap.
Oh, no.
Someone slapped her in the ass. She turned. No one was there.
They're like, drop that soap, baby. We ain't touched a woman in years. Oh, God.
And then one of the investigators that she was with was pretty tall.
Okay.
And the cells weren't very tall.
Yeah.
So as they were walking out, he went to go duck, and then he felt as if someone was pushing him on the back of his head, and he ended up hitting his head on top of the cell door.
They're like, no, you fucking walk tall.
Okay, so that was with her.
Okay.
And then Sean, who I mentioned earlier,
Puffy Combs.
He told them at least two officers were killed by inmates.
Oh, man.
One officer...
That's not too many. I would think that might be, like, a lot more.
I think that's only two, like, they, like, knew for sure that thing they had, like, record on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's not...
Yeah.
Like, I would have just thought how violent the prisoners and everything were. There could have been, like, more casualties as far as guards go. So, two's not bad.
No, it was more of them killing themselves.
Or each other, yeah.
Yeah. So, one officer in the 1830s was murdered by an inmate who disassembled part of a sewing machine and clubbed the officer to death in his exercise yard.
What the fuck? Why do they have access to sewing machines with sharp points?
I guess they weren't expecting them to disassemble them, I guess. The inmate was Joseph Taylor, and he was convinced they were trying to poison him.
Okay.
The officer came over, unlocked the gate to let him in the exercise yard. Taylor rushes out and beats him to death right there by the door.
What the fuck?
The court account was creepy because Taylor quotes, "I remember hitting him the first time, but after that, I don't remember anything." And apparently after he beat him, he went back into his cell and fell asleep. And that's the one that the dude was doing the locksmith change.
Yeah.
It was his door.
What the fuck? I remember that episode too. I think I watched it. I remember that. Because he was doing the change, but there was like a female in there with him, I think. While he was doing the change, because they just kept talking about it. And how I think she was in there with like a murderer or a rapist. That was like one of their cells. And like she kept getting touched. Or something. Yeah. I think I remember that. Yeah. Because the locksmith guy is like, he was like fucking terrified.
Mm-hmm. So then he talked to Craig Wilcott, who was an eyewitness. So how it was. So let's say like it's like this. Like, there's like cells.
Yeah.
Like lining the hallway.
Yeah.
And you have the railings. So you have like a little bit of like you can literally like it's like this much space. So you can literally
like
reach
a
out.
Catwalk kind of thing. Yeah.
So you can literally reach out and push. So he said inmates would push guards over the railing.
What?
Yeah, because they can literally just push them. So they put wire across the little catwalk thingy.
Yeah.
So the guards wouldn't have that far to fall. After too many people got pushed. Because there's not enough space.
Instead of extending the walkway, they just put wire mesh, like acrobat mesh, underneath, like the little in the corner mesh nets for stuffed animals that you put in the corner of your room. So if they fall, it's like,
oh no, it was metal wire.
Metal.
From the
I would think that
from the episode. Well, right now they're metal, so I don't know what they had then.
Yeah,
but in the episode they were metal.
I would think that would like shred you like one of those like onion choppers.
Well, they probably did have something like better, but during the episode it was like they have like metal railings like in between the catwalks.
I don't like it. Okay. Okay, whatever. I don't care.
So the first tour he did there was a young person who was new to the paranormal experience.
Okay.
And that was in that group. And there are signs outside the cell which basically told about some of the people who were there. Mm-hmm. So the stupid dude, the young man, was calling them by name and called them a bleep. It didn't say what he actually called them and stuff like that.
Just a bleep?
Yeah. The guy ended up being pushed out of the cell and screamed for his mother.
Okay. So he was being an idiot and a pussy.
Yes.
Okay.
And then Sean showed them the death ledger.
Okay.
So TB was particularly bad then.
Yeah, during that time.
Yeah. So the ledger goes back to 1830. So there was a lot of suicide by hanging. One dude died in 1859 by masturbation at age 18.
They
all questioned that one.
What?
Yeah, because Zach's like, because he's showing Zach the ledger.
Yeah.
And like Aaron's like Aaron or Nick were like holding the camera and zooming in on the ledger.
Mm-hmm.
And like they're going through like this one died by suicide. Like there's a lot of suicides.
Right.
Or like TB and like stuff like that.
Right.
So like all that. And then Zach goes, wait, what? And one says, masturbation.
What the fuck?
And Zach's like, what?
At 18?
The dude was 18 when he died.
Did he like rip it off or something? Or what is happening?
I don't know. Apparently you can die from masturbation, so don't do it too much, apparently.
Can you though? Like,
so then Sean was telling them how it was deemed a failure and how it houses inmates. So by 1913, Pennsylvania abandoned the solitary confinement system. Cells were modified, more were constructed, and the person population swelled to 1,700 inmates. And with that change came a new way to control the prisoners: torture.
Of course, like it's like the next logical step, right?
Yeah. So cell block 12, hallway upper level.
So cell block 12 seems to be like where the majority of my eyeball is like twitching really bad right now.
Charles J. Adams says you can hear phantom footsteps on the dirt, like you can hear the shuffling.
Okay.
A cackling voice can be heard. It's described as a female voice, but he believes it's a high-pitched male voice in pain. And then while they're walking, they go to Al Capone's cell. They heard tapping while they were talking.
Okay.
And then when they're in the rotunda, Charles had brought a bus tour and had turned them over to a tour guide of the prison. Saw they were going, so he saw one dude. Saw they were going one way and realized someone was lagging behind. He did a 90-degree turn, said, "You better go," and no one was there.
What are you doing?
Yeah, like that's like what he was doing. Like he was turning to like tell the dude, "You better go," but as he's turning, like there's nobody there.
I thought you were hearing something behind you, and I'm like, should I be concerned? No. I'm looking. I'm like, what's going on?
So he thought, I'm trying to show you, so it's better to explain.
Okay, well, that would have been, like, good information to have because you were just looking around you like there was somebody behind you. And I was like, what is happening? Like, last time we saw something out of the corner of our eye, I didn't know if I needed to, like, prepare myself.
So he thought it was some wise guy doing the duck and hide behind you kind of thing.
Gotcha, yeah.
So he did a 360, saw the figure going down the cell block, and it just got thinner and thinner and just faded away.
Okay, so he did not belong to the group.
Nope.
Okay. Creepy.
And then Andrew Knapp, he said there was 8 of them heading to cell block 14. He was the last in line.
Okay.
Something suddenly hit him in the shoulder like they wanted him to leave. They had just left death row, and he had commented on an inmate's name and was making fun of the name.
Ooh, don't do that.
Elmo Smith.
Don't do that.
Yeah, they're making fun of Elmo Smith.
Leave Elmo alone.
Okay, so now their investigation.
Mm-hmm.
So they go to cell block 12. They're unlocking the cells and taunting the ghosts, and they hear tapping in one of the cells.
Taunting the ghosts?
Yeah, they're like, "Hey, we're the new guards. We're unlocking your cells. Come and get us."
Wait, so is this Ghost Adventures, or is it like the group that was like touring?
This is Ghost Adventures. So this is Zach, Nick, Aaron.
Okay, so they know what they're doing. It's not like just these random ass people on a fucking tour that are like, "Meh," and then, mommy.
Yeah, no, this is Zach and them.
Okay.
So they shut themselves in the cell. They heard the tapping,
mm-hmm.
and they use a tri-field meter.
Okay.
Aaron heard, so it's Nick and Zach in the cell.
Okay.
Aaron's outside the cell.
Mm-hmm.
So Aaron hears footsteps coming up towards them.
Okay.
The tri-field spiked as Aaron's talking to the spirit. The voice recorder catches, "I knew God."
Oh,
God.
No, you did not.
And then they hear a disembodied voice going, "Hungry."
Oh.
They leave a motion detector and a camera running, and the minute they left, they capture a voice on the camera's audio going, "Hi."
Oh.
So they went down another hallway, heard a noise, and when they investigated, it was coming from the room with the mad chair.
Oh, God. Okay.
Yeah. They set up two digital cameras, one in the hallway outside of the room and one inside the room with the chair. The hallway one captured an eerie sound that Nick's in the hallway this time.
Okay.
So hallway one captured an eerie sound that Nick heard with his ears, a jail cell opening.
Okay, so Nick, he actually heard it. It wasn't like heard later on the audio. He heard it at that
Nick
time.
Nick actually heard it.
Okay.
And then he captured a scratching sound like someone trying to get out.
crashing or scratching?
Scratching.
Ugh.
And they capture Get Out on the recorder in the room with them.
But they didn't hear that.
They didn't hear
at
that
the time.
like at the time. They captured all that. They captured that on the recorder.
Okay.
So they start going around taking infrared pictures.
Okay.
So they're walking around outside. They get to a gated door, hear tapping. So then they ask, "Are you knocking?" and gets 2 taps in response.
Okay. 1 for no, 2 for yes.
So they find a room with coffins.
Oh.
Zach counts to 3 and tells it to make a noise, like, "Hey, if you're making noise,
Do it again, yeah.
do it again." Gets tapping in response.
Okay.
And out of the 289 photos they took, they captured something on one of them. There was a bright light and a mist coming out of the doorway, which they can't understand because there's no electricity, so there should be no lights.
Right. No light at all.
No lights at all. So they all split up. So Zach goes to Al Capone's room, Aaron goes to the infirmary, and Nick goes to this open yard cell where the guard was killed,
Okay.
where the locksmith was doing the lock.
Yeah.
So in Al Capone's room, Zach hears tapping. And then 40 minutes later, after he left the room, the camera audio captures what sounds like a man shouting.
Jerry! Leave me alone, Jerry!
So then in the infirmary, Aaron starts hearing noises and freezing.
Okay.
So and then he hears footsteps pacing up and down. That was captured on the camera and digital recorder. And then he hears banging sounds.
Okay.
And then with Nick, he's talking about what happened, and then he captures on his digital recorder a voice going, "Nick." And then they say Nick again. Nick. And then 54 minutes and 34 seconds after Nick left, the night vision camera captures a scream.
Oh, no.
And the infrared camera lights are drained of power at the same time.
Oh, no. So it took all the energy that ghost had to scream, and it sucked the power out of it, too.
Yup.
That's crazy.
All right. So that is it on Eastern State Penitentiary.
It's crazy. And, yeah, I can imagine it's super haunted with all the torture and death and everything that's there. That's crazy. All right, guys. So this week we're going to talk about the Snallygaster.
The what?
It's called the Snallygaster. So, in American folklore, the Snallygaster is a bird-reptile chimera originating in the superstitions of early German immigrants, later combined with the sensationalistic newspaper reports of the monster. So they kind of took it from like German folklore and like created it into American, that's what America tends to do. Early sightings associate the Snallygaster with Frederick County. You got your baby?
You stepped on it.
Oh. Early sightings associate the Snallygaster with Frederick County, Maryland, especially the areas of South Mountain, Braddock Heights, and Middletown Valley. Later reports would expand on sightings encompassing an area to include Central Maryland, Berkeley County, West Virginia, and Washington, D.C. metro area. So in the 18th century, the area of Frederick County, Maryland, was settled by German immigrants beginning in the 1730s. Early accounts describe the community being terrorized by a monster called the Schnellergeist, which means quick ghost in German.
Okay.
So there in the 1730s, they're calling it a ghost, right? But they're now saying it's like half bird, half reptile, kind of like creature. The earliest incarnations of the creature mix the half-bird features of a siren. So remember when we talked about mermaids, the sirens initially had bird features. They didn't have mermaid features.
Yeah.
So they incorporated the half-bird-like siren features with the nightmarish features of demons and ghouls. The Snallygaster was described as half reptile, half bird, having a metallic beak lined with razor-sharp teeth, occasionally alongside octopus-like tentacles.
What the fuck?
It was like a fucking kraken with a bird head.
Okay.
Yeah, like fucking crazy. The Snallygaster was rumored to swoop silently from the sky to pick up and carry off its victims. Fucking terrifying.
So he swoop you without his tentacles.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would guess so. He doesn't have like bird feet or anything like claws or anything. It says tentacles. So it's like, and then like when it releases you, it's like, like all these little suckers come off of you. The earliest stories claim that this monster sucked the blood of its victims. So it's a vampire also, apparently. 7 pointed stars, which reputedly kept the Snallygaster at bay, can still be seen painted on local barns in the area.
Okay.
So the Star of David keeps the Snallygaster away.
Alrighty then.
Mm-hmm. In the 19th century, it was suggested that the legend was resurrected to frighten freed slaves. You know, there's this big, giant bird octopus plucking people out of their life and, like, drinking their blood and killing them.
Okay.
Which, I mean, I guess to a slave who was sheltered and not, you know, in the know of anything, that would be terrifying.
Yeah.
That would be terrifying. But, you know, I would take my chances with the Snallygaster than with a white slave owner. Yeah, I would. Yeah. So, ma'am, you can't have any of that, I don't think. I think it's probably got onions.
Okay, well.
In the 20th century, newspaper accounts through February and March of 1909 describe encounters between local residents and a beast with quote-unquote enormous wings, a long pointed bill, claws like steel hooks, and an eye in the center of its forehead.
So a cyclops.
A cyclops bird
Okay.
thing. But initially it had octopus legs, but now it's got claws and a beak like a bird.
Okay.
Yeah. It was described as making screeches that sounded like a locomotive whistle. So, I'd be like, the fuck are you? What is that? Like, I wouldn't be scared of that.
Yeah.
I would be laughing. Like, and that's probably why I would die.
Yeah.
Because that bird octopus would be like, man, fuck you.
Uh-huh.
You leave my screech alone. And then he, like, comes at me. And I would, like, just lay on the floor laughing until I died. A great deal of publicity surrounded this string of appearances, with the Smithsonian Institute offering a reward for the hide. So they believed it. They're like, if you can bring us the hide of this creature, we will pay you handsomely.
Okay.
U.S. President Theodore Roosevelt reportedly considered postponing an African safari to personally hunt the beast.
Okay.
But I think Roosevelt is also the president who wrote about the Wendigos.
I think so.
In that hunting book.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so apparently he was like an avid hunter, and so anything that was like monstrous, he was like, I'll take him out. Yeah. It was later revealed that these reports were part of a hoax perpetrated by Middletown Valley Register editor George C. Roderick and reporter Ralph S. Wolf in an attempt to increase readership. So it was a lie.
Okay.
Yeah, they're like, let's make some shit up so people read our newspaper, because right now we fucking suck.
Yeah.
The descriptions they invented borrowed themes from existing German folklore, including dragon-like creatures who snatched children and livestock, and appeared to involve descriptions of the Jersey Devil, which had been spotted mere weeks earlier. On June 22nd of 1953, Whittaker Chambers, whose home lies in Carroll County, Maryland, used the Snallygaster to examine U.S. Senator Joseph McCarthy in his essay, Is Academic Freedom in Danger? So he says it was a trick of fate in a low comedy mood that Senator McCarthy should first have bounded into public view, dragging the unlikely and protesting person of Mr. Lattimore to share with him a historic spotlight so grateful to the one and so accurately unwanted by the other. It was a trick of fate that, in the case of each, has led to some serious confusion, for it led to the translation of Senator McCarthy into the symbol of a national Snallygaster, which is a winged hobgoblin used to frighten naughty children in parts of rural Maryland, instead of one of the two things that he obviously is, an instinctive politician of a kind fairly common in our history, in which case the uproar he inspires is a phenomenon much more attesting than the senator, or a politician of a kind wholly new in our history, in which his case merits the most cautious and cold-blooded appraisal.
The fuck?
So, it looks like Whittaker was saying that McCarthy kind of like made up this Snallygaster thing to get people to follow him.
Okay.
So, in popular culture, The Snallygaster appears as a boss fight in the Blair Witch Volume 2, The Legend of Coffin Rock, which takes place in 1886. I'm guessing that's a movie. I mean, a game, like a video game. In 2008, author Patrick Boynton published a history of the Snallygaster entitled Snallygaster, The Lost Legend of Frederick County. In 2011, an annual beer festival called a Beastly Beer Jamboree called Snallygaster started in Washington, D.C. So, like, they all have festivals. Mothman, Frogman.
Okay.
The Snallygaster is mentioned in season 2 of Mountain Monsters. I was not able to find that episode.
Of course not. Why
Yeah,
not?
wasn't able to find it. In 2017 edition of J.K. Rowling's Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them incorporated the Snallygaster into her Harry Potter universe. It is described as a part bird, part reptile relative of the Akami with serrated steel fangs, a bulletproof hide, and a natural sense of curiosity. What are we finding? You found it? Yeah, you found it. A creature called a Snallygaster appears in the 2018 Bethesda game Fallout 76. Like, all of these creatures appear in Fallout 76. Have you noticed that? Like, the last 3 paranormals that we've talked about. It bears little resemblance to the creature of legend and is described in the game as a failed genetic experiment. South Mountain Creamery, a dairy farm located in Frederick County, produces an ice cream flavor named the Snallygaster.
That sounds disgusting.
It consists of peanut butter flavored ice cream.
Okay.
Caramel swirl with peanut butter cups and pretzels.
Okay, that doesn't sound
Yeah,
bad.
it sounds good.
But the
name sounds gross. But the name additionally means quick ghost. Nothing to do with a bird octopus.
I don't know.
Snallygaster's Cafe and Wine Bar is a popular restaurant in the historic Harper's Ferry, West Virginia. The Snallygaster is mentioned in episode 4, season 5 series of Chesapeake Shores, where Snally hunters gather for an annual day of search of the fantastic animal.
What?
In 2021, Sarah Cooper, a cryptozoologist in Maryland, opened the American Snallygaster Museum in Libertytown. And a Snallygaster appears in the 2025 novel Brambles and the Bellflowers by Layla Oweds, where it is described as a large green dragon-like creature with comically small wings, one large eye, and a duckbill. That sounds cute as fuck. Can you imagine a green dragon with like baby wings, one eyeball, and the bill of a duck? So yeah, that's a Snallygaster. Mine was super short. But you know, you guys can always find us on patreon.com/hauntedandhomicidal, facebook.com/hauntedandhomicidal, Gmail. Send us your own stories, something that you might want us to cover that we might not know about. We're always up for suggestions. Thank you guys still for your support. I love seeing the numbers increase weekly. Okay, love you. Bye.
Bye.